BBQ Central Radio Show will air live at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The BBQ Central Radio Show will air live at 9 p.m.
Hi, I'm Johnny Dam, host of the Damage Report radio show. When I'm not falling in love with the First Amendment all over again, I like to sit back, relax, and rub my meat to the BBQ Central show. And now your host, Greg Rempe. Go, Greg. Yeah, rub that meat.
So to get that perfect barbecue, you use wood. Are you sure it's safe? Whatever. We put the lighter fluid on, strike the match, and... Oh! Should we call the fire department? That might be a good idea.
All right, good evening and welcome to the Really Big BBQ Central Show. This is the show that talks about all things important to the world of barbecue and grilling. I broadcast live and direct from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame city of Cleveland, Ohio. It's the barbecue capital of the North Coast. I am your program host, Greg Rempe, and I am happy to have you aboard here on your Tuesday. If you see fit to jump in on the show tonight, more than happy to have you. It's a phone call away, 216-220-0966. You can also email the show at any point you see fit by using this email address, Greg with one G, G-R-E-G, at thebbqcentralshow.com, right down there on the lower third. Anything else you want to find out about the show? You can always check at the main website, thebbqcentralshow.com. And here's what's happening a little bit later in the show, ladies and gentlemen. Coming up in about 12 minutes from now, the first Tuesday of every month for now, lo, these many months in a row, finds us checking in, getting our monthly barbecue checkup with a good doctor, newly, how do you say it properly? Hall of Fame elect Dr. Barbecue Ray Lampe will be joining us. 9:14. Then at 9:35, a first-time guest on the show. Not a first-time caller, definitely not a first-time listener. Somebody that I would put up in the annals of all-time Centralite in the history of the earth, and pitmaster of the Basic Barbecue team, now heading to the finals in Bentonville, Arkansas for the SAM Series. Patruck Paquette will be joining us here at 9:35. Oh, ladies and gentlemen. And then we'll move to the second hour, reloading from last week because I have terrible scheduling issues. A man who has invented a grill that has, much like this show, as a passion for me. His passion is grills, and specifically hotbox grills, and on to talk about it, none other than the creator of hotbox grills, Dave Benjamin, will be joining us at 10:14. And then helping me close the show out, I think we missed him last month, we had him the month before that. He is the official Barbecue Central sauce and rub reviewer and chili head extraordinaire, Scott Roberts, joining us. So we have a ton to get to. The traditional format of the show has reemerged for this week and next week, and then we will round out the competition barbecue roundtable with a chicken. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is me, El Smokebo, coming to you live from the Institute of Advanced Barbecue Studies. That is I, El Smokebo, competition roundtable in 2 weeks' time. Buy my stuff, ladies and gentlemen, buy my stuff. So, never fear, we're not forgetting the very last... Don't. We're not forgetting the last meat. We don't think any less of chicken, though it's dangerous and pesky. We will have three of the... scratch that from the record. We will have the top 3 chicken cooks in the country talking about chicken start to finish and everything in between. So there you go. So look forward to that. 216-220-0966. Greg at the BBQCentralShow.com. Facebook it, tweet it, Reddit it, however you do the social media. Let everybody know the show's on. TheBBQCentralShow.com is the main website. OutdoorCookingChannel.com, video syndication partner of the show for years. You can get it on Roku. Don't forget, you can subscribe to iTunes for audio replays of the show. That's the way it's most consumed. My YouTube channel has video replays. Outdoor Cooking Channel has replays as well. And, of course, the main website that I just mentioned, thebbqcentralshow.com. Again, no reason you should ever miss anything on the show. Ever. All right, let's get it right out in the open. Never let it be said that I do not admit my own mistakes. However, I will get out in front of this one. But the emails were fast and furious after this afternoon's newsletter made its way out to the 1,000 people that are subscribed to it. And no less than 50 or 60 people couldn't wait to fire off an email because everybody's perfect. But man, you people can't wait to jump all over someone when a mistake is made, right? Of course. I didn't mean to put Ray Lampy's last name on my newsletter incorrectly. I didn't do that on purpose. I've written his last name several hundred times over the last 7 years. So, of course, I didn't mean to put Ray R-A-Y-L-A-M, and then I didn't include the P and then E at the end. Well, you take the P out of Lampy and you have lame. Yeah, that's what I was going for. Nothing says impressing a guest who shows up every month and is one of the most recognizable names in barbecue by intentionally leaving a letter out so you can say name, lame. No. Of course, I respect the time and the information that Ray shares with the show. He's a Hall of Famer. And obviously I didn't do that on purpose. But thank you to everyone for pointing that out literally seconds after the newsletter was released. So hilarious. So fun. Must be nice living lives of perfection out there. Douche bags. Heaven forbid. Heaven forbid. I got an email from Cliff over the weekend. Cliff writes, "Hey, Greg, I'm entering KCBS competition for the second time this year. The company I now work for, Metro Appliances and More," plug for Metro Appliances, "is footing the bill, or, well, it wouldn't be possible. I've competed in Wayne, Arkansas, and took 14th out of 49 teams, got a fourth place pork call. I am competing in Jonesboro, Arkansas at the end of this month, and I was asking the guy in charge about participation this year. He told me they were expecting a decline, but would still have 60 to 70 teams. This was making me wonder about the fate of competition barbecue in general. Are you seeing a general decline in participation across the country? Do you think Sam's Club, with their $50,000 purse, has helped or hurt the $10,000 competitions? And I know that all the TV shows had to help some, but if everyone is like me, they aren't paying all of the cost of doing competitions out of pocket. I am about to put the skills learned via the forum to the test. Have been watching your show via YouTube these days. Keep up the good work. Thank you, Cliff." Thank you, Cliff, for writing it. Let me take some items here off of your email just for reaction. Am I seeing a general decline in participation off the country? I don't keep tabs on, growth. That's not me. That's KCBS. That's Florida Barbecue Association. That's all the other sanctioning bodies. They would have a better idea of how they're seeing. I have seen more cancellations of competitions than I have this year, and I'm not necessarily looking for it more than I have been in years past, but I've seen a lot of competitions go by the wayside. Do I think Sam's Club is hurting more than helping? Absolutely not. I think if Sam's Club wants to pony up fat cash for people to win, have 3 good cooks and the opportunity to win $50,000 or more overall in prize money, I think it's absolutely fabulous. Do I think that there's probably some other competitions that might be around a Sam's Club event that don't get pulled now because they used to? Sure. That's just going to happen. It's called competition. Inherently, things were going to come along that are new. They might be a little bit more attractive than what you have going on. And if you've been steadfastly holding to whatever it is you've been doing over the last 10 or 15 years, guess what? It's not going to work out for you. You got to find different ways to draw the Sam's Club away from the Sam's Club local or regional or whatever you have going on. More local events, I would imagine that it hurts. And I think the cost of competition barbecue is something that might need to be looked at all levels. But again, that's probably being pushed more from the competitor side of thing than anybody else. Nobody is saying you have to buy all the expensive meat and the expensive cookers and all this other stuff. I mean, that's just the way the sport is going. More on that. Thanks for writing in, Cliff. But first, let me talk to you about Big Papa Smokers, the one-stop shop for anyone interested in barbecue, featuring a comprehensive selection of all American-made grills, spices, sauces, accessories, even a kit that gives you everything you need to make a world-class smoker out of a 55-gallon drum. Big Papa Smokers has made a name for itself by making an award-winning line of championship rubs. Their rubs have won almost every major competition barbecue event, including the 2012 and 13 World Series of Barbecue in Kansas City, the 2012 Jack Daniels Invitational, the 2013 Kingsford Challenge, and the 2014 Houston Livestock and Rodeo, plus many more to come on the horizon. BPS also banded together with fellow California rub maker Simply Marvelous Barbecue to form what has now become known as the West Coast Offense. Defying conventional wisdom, these two California rub-based makers have cornered the market on competitive barbecue and begun to redefine the flavor profile that competitive cooks from across the country have begun to aim for. They've even created 2 of their own unique competitions, King of the Smoker, which is a best of the best in barbecue, head-to-head in a back-to-basics competition. No pellet cookers, no pit minders, contestants just allowed to use charcoal wood and their wits to win one of the most high-stakes barbecue competitions around. And then, of course, the other one, the Guinea Pig, which is a cost-controlled competition that helps bring in newcomers to competitive barbecue. It also features prize distribution all the way down to 10th place in each category, which helps provide incentive to get new competitors into the world of barbecue. Fantastic concept, Cliff, if you're taking notes. On top of all of that, Big Papa has created a unique brand ambassador program, the BPS Elite Team, featuring 15 of the best competition teams in the country, working together to promote camaraderie, competition barbecue, and to benefit children's charities across the U.S. Let's sum it up. Keep in mind that BPS has done this within 4 years of being in business, turning the competition barbecue world on its head, creating their own unique competitions, becoming a staple of a nationwide barbecue chain, and benefiting children's charities across the United States. It's just the beginning. For Big Papa Smokers, thanks to Sterling Ball and the gang over there for their support of this show. We'll have Sterling on here in a couple weeks, I believe. So there you go. We're coming back with the good doctor, Ray Lampe, for Ask Dr. Barbecue right after this. Stick around. Be right back.
Broadcasting live from the Barbecue Central Radio Network studios in Cleveland, Ohio. You're listening to the Barbecue Central Radio Show. Once again, here's your host, Greg Rempe.
All right, welcome back. 216-220-0966. That's the email. No, that's the phone number. Greg at thebbqcentralshow.com. That's the email. You want to jump in tonight? You have a question for Ray Lampe? Drop it in. We'll get to it tonight. Lots of good questions to talk to Ray about here, but if you are interested, shoot them my way, 216-220-0966, Greg at thebbqcentralshow.com. And stick around here for this great introduction that I have.
If you got questions about barbecue or grilling, maybe as a hobby or even a business, looking to get an expert's point of view, why not ask Dr. Barbecue? You can submit your questions by clicking on the Ask Dr. Barbecue tab on the website. The doctor is in. Here's Ray Lampy with his nurse, Greg Rimpey. Dr. Barbecue.
And there he is, Ray Lampy, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah! Ray, how are you, buddy? Uh-oh. I don't have you.
I see.
Oh, no, now I got you. All right, there we go. Sorry about that. Ray looking dapper as always. Is it my keen sense of investigation, or do you have like a new set of stainless steel like shells behind you, or have they always been there?
It's always there, probably just the camera moved or something.
Oh, all right. Well, good enough. Ray, it's been believe it or not, it's been a month since we've had you on the last time. What is new, improved, unimproved in the world of Dr. Barbecue as it sits right now?
It's balls to the wall now, man. We just started the Coke Zero cook-off before kickoff thing, and that's 10 out of the next 14 weeks. Add in the American Royal Eggtoberfest and World Food Championship, I got 1 week off out of the next 14. So it's going to be a busy time of year.
For the folks that maybe didn't hear our conversations last year when you were doing the whole cook-off before kickoff thing, can you give us just a little background about that?
Yeah, it's a little different this year. Last year we spent a lot of time out in front of Sam's Club. This time we're going out to tailgates at the game. But here's the deal. You go to cook-off before kickoff, and you can enter, and they send out to 10 teams every week in different markets a tailgating package. And one team is going to be in the city where we are. They're going to get a $150 Sam's gift card. Then you go buy a bunch of stuff, and we're going to come to your tailgate and take a bunch of video and stuff. And then at the end of the season, all those teams go in a hat, and somebody wins $5,000 and 2 tickets to any bowl game.
Bowl game?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know how they're going to handle
Wow.
that. But, yeah, that's pretty cool. I guess they want to make it that way so that you can go where your team is.
Yeah, that's right. Plus, $5,000 ain't too shabby. I'll take that. I'll take that over the football tickets.
Yeah, you're going to have some fun.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. And then the other thing I wanted to ask you about was the online barbecue class. That's still going strong for you?
Yeah, it is. It's doing real well, actually. It's real happy with that. It's and the reviews have all been good. All the interactions have been really good. It's kind of cool. People are sending me pictures of like good stuff they're cooking. They're all real happy. So online bbqclass.com. It's through Craftsy, the website. But if you book it through my website, I get a few extra dollars. It costs the same, and I get a few extra dollars.
All right, so let's go right into the questions here. And, of course, my email is not firing up as I figured it would when it counts. This one is from Blake Moody, and he's like, Greg, I have a question for Ray on the show tonight. I'm sure Ray has been to hundreds, maybe thousands, of barbecue joints. What is his impression of barbecue cooked on a wood-burning pit versus a gas oven, for instance, Southern Pride or Old Hickory or, something like that? I have no idea what the health consequences are, but I imagine that wood has to be better than gas. Just wondered what he thinks if one is better than the other.
Well, I'm not a real doctor, so I can't address the whole health issue of it.
What? You're not a real doctor?
Oh. But, I don't think I've been to 1,000 yet, but I've certainly been to hundreds of barbecue restaurants. It seems to me the guys that are meticulously cooking with wood are creating really good food. I was just in Dallas, and I ate at a place called the Pecan Lodge. It's becoming very famous, a really cool place. It started in a flea market, and they 3 months ago opened this big, beautiful place. And just the nicest damn people, and it's really good. And they're cooking with all wood. They got big, wide open, you're going to cook with wood. You got to have big airflow, and you got to watch what you're doing, and you got to know what's going on. It's really a big commitment. For most restaurants, it's not practical, and the gas cookers solve that problem. So I don't hate them. The truth is there's a lot of mediocre barbecue out there right now, and most of it's being cooked on Southern Prides and Old Hickories. Doesn't mean the cooker's bad. It means people just don't give a shit. They're serving mediocre barbecue. People buy it, so they're reasonably okay with it. So I don't necessarily think the cookers are to blame, because there's places cooking really good food over on Old Hickory. Leanne in Chicago, at Chicago Q, they're cooking really good food. And actually in Chicago also Smoke Berry. They're cooking really good barbecue on Old Hickories and Southern Pride. So you can do it. You just got to know what you're doing, and you got to want to. And on the other hand, you can cook really bad barbecue on a wood burner too. If those guys don't know what they're doing, and you just keep chucking logs in, and you don't get the right airflow, that could be bad too. So I'm not that biased about your pit. I want to eat the food.
Yeah, I think two things on that. I've had really good barbecue over visibly wood-burning pits, which has been great. As you have had, I've had incredibly not great wood-burned barbecue, and vice versa. It's been good on gas, and it's been not good on gas. The thing that I am continually perturbed about, and it's almost like a cycle that just continues to regenerate itself every year, is you have average barbecue joints that are looking to half-ass the work, figure out a way to do it easily, cost-effectively, most profit return or return on the investment per se. And then you have people that are buying it, and they either don't know any different, they've never been educated on what a good barbecue would taste like, so they think they're happy as a pig in shit. So they're continuing to eat the bad stuff, saying how great it is. This guy's happy for doing mediocre work and getting a lot of profit. It's almost like ribs in the general consuming public. If it falls off the bone, if it's meat soup, that's the best rib I've ever had, and it's just not the case, and it doesn't seem to find a way to resolve itself.
Yeah, it's a shame, actually, but you're right. That mediocre food. Well, people like places like Applebee's and Chili's because it's very familiar. The service is good. We will, on this tailgate tour, we'll eat in a lot of different restaurants. And Beth, who travels with me, and Gail are they're foodies too. So we will go find. I mean, we ate everything from Papa Dough to gas station tacos that somebody told us about this week. And we'll do that, and we will find good food and bad food in both places. But what you'll find is the chain restaurants, the service is tight, everything looks the same, the bathroom's in the same place, and people like that stuff. It's a shame, but they like that mediocre kind of, when you go to these funky barbecue restaurants, you got to wait in line, or eating tacos at the gas station it's almost like risky business. You might get sick. But I'm up for that adventure. A lot of people are not. They just want that, 3/4 effort, and they're happy with it. And I hate to see it crawling into barbecue, but it's certainly there.
In regards to the waiting and the line stuff, and it really seems to be most prevalent, or at least you hear about it more in the Texas area, especially in Austin. You get to Franklin's or some of these other places. Have you eaten at Franklin's barbecue, Ray?
I haven't had a chance. No, I look forward to going. Everybody I know that's ever been there says the food really is that good. Now, it's a fucking brisket. How good can it be?
I don't know. Let me ask you a question. I mean, you are Ray Lampe, Hall of Famer, to be inducted this year. Will you wait in a 4-hour line to eat brisket to see if it's really that good? Or, I mean, like, if it were me, I would call Aaron Franklin on the cell phone directly and say, hey, I'm coming in town. I'm going to sneak through the back, and I'm not waiting in that freaking line. Or I'm just not coming. I mean, it can't be worth 4 hours, right?
I'm not waiting in line. I can promise you.
Oh, my God.
I'd really like to try the food. If there's a way I can sneak in the back door, I'll do it.
Yeah.
I hate to do that to people, but it can't be that good. I bet, people enjoy the whole adventure. There was in New Orleans back in the day, K. Paul, when it was such a famous restaurant, that was what people would do. They'd line up and they'd drink in the line till it was time to go in. And I think that's what they do at Franklin too. And that's all good, but I'm an old man. I ain't standing in no 3-hour line. I'm pretty sure Aaron will let me slide in the back.
I think at this point it's like badge of courage. You can say you waited in the line and there's a romance to it. And I was talking to a pair of dudes that have a barbecue food truck up here in Seatown over the weekend, and they just went on and on about it was life-changing brisket, and they waited 4 hours, and all I was thinking was like, wow, that's a lot of time to wait.
I have yet to see somebody wait in line for 4 hours and say it wasn't very good.
Yeah, right. It's always going to be the best brisket. Yeah, because you don't want to be the sucker that says, I wasted my time.
But the way to serve good brisket is keep serving it.
Yep.
And that's what they do. You know what I mean? They got the line. They just, when it's gone, it's gone. Arthur Bryant's always was like that to me. When it's busy, the brisket's really good because it doesn't sit around at all. There's a place over in Orlando called Four Rivers. He's got a few of them now. A guy named John Rivers, good guy, get a lot of attention. And he's what he did is, the way he set up his barbecue restaurant, you wait in the line, and when you get there, the first thing you see is a guy with a knife and a brisket, and then there's the line, and most of the food's made in the kitchen right behind there, but the brisket's right there with the guy with the knife. Well, guess what everybody orders?
Yeah.
The brisket. And that's a smart move because everybody orders the brisket. You keep the brisket moving. That's how you serve good brisket.
Yeah. Ray Lampe joining us here on the show for the monthly Ask Dr. Barbecue segment. If you have a question, ask drbbq.com. You can also visit Ray's own website, drbbq.com. All right, so we wrap that one up. Let's move on to a question I got from Bill in New York. And it says, Ray, I've been looking at ceramic cookers, but the price tag scares me a little bit. I know you're a big green egg guy, but couldn't I buy a less expensive smoker and also a cheaper gas grill and have two pieces versus one ceramic unit? What's your take?
Well, I work for Big Green Egg. What do you think I'm going to say? But I'll tell you my honest opinion. Big Green Egg's been around for 35 years. We're not going anywhere. We are the clear leader in this segment. You know, you can online, you can find people that will tell you about every other thing. There's a lot of contrarians. We're the clear leader in this segment. If you, in 5 years, if there's a problem with your Big Green Egg, you'll be able to find me. You'll be able to find the people there. They're going to fix it for you. They're going to take care of it. In 10 years, they're going to be there. In 20 years, they're going to be there. I don't know about these other guys. I have no idea. Are they going to be there? Probably, maybe. Who knows? What are their cookers going to look like? We have that big track record. Now, as far as the price, you know, people don't think anything of spending $1,000 for a gas grill. Matter of fact, they're proud because they buy the fancier, shiny object one, the biggest one they can find. Guy spends $3,000 on his gas grill. He's bragging about it. Yeah. But a charcoal grill, people want to cheap out. They think everything should cost $79. Just spend $1,000. You'll on a Big Green Egg. You'll never regret it. You'll never need another one. It'll have, you know, you'll be giving it to your kids when you retire, when you're too old to cook. It just, you know, it's a long time investment. Quit being so cheap. Just buy the thing, and don't buy a cheap gas grill. Talk about a piece of crap. What would you buy that for? Just buy an egg, and you'll never be mad. Try to find somebody that has a Big Green Egg that's mad.
No.
Good luck with that. You know,
trying to find somebody that waited for 4 hours for Franklin's brisket and said it was bad. You're not going to have.
That's right. Look on Craigslist. The only thing you'll find on Craigslist typically is a medium because the guy cheaped out, bought the medium, and he wanted a large.
Right.
That's typically what you find.
What I like about, Big Green Egg is, as you said, a leader in the segment. I have no cat in that fight. But in regards to just ceramic cookers in general, and the Big Green Egg I like because inherently barbecue guys are, I mean, look behind you, you know, gadget guys and tech guys, and you know, I need to get every little thing for my cooker that I can possibly get. And Big Green Egg has like 50 billion different things that you can get for it, right? But in a lot of the other competitive ceramic cookers have, you know, gadgets that are slowly building up to follow suit. However, the thing that I like most about that style of cooker is, and why I would tell this guy, buy a Big Green Egg if you're really worried about, you know, the saying, buy the best, only cry once. You know, that holds true with a lot of stuff in barbecue. A lot of stuff, I guess, in life in general, but especially barbecue. You buy the cheap stuff, you're going to become disenchanted, and then you're out of it. You buy a Big Green Egg, you're going to lay out, you know, decent amount of money for it. But as you said, you got all the warranty, you got the support behind it. But you're getting those two cookers in one unit. So unless you're just somebody that has to have two pieces, this one gives you the ability to slow smoke at a very low temperature for hours and hours on end, and it also will ramp right up to 750, 800 degrees, so you can do the high heat grilling as well.
I cooked a slab of spare ribs yesterday for dinner on the egg. I have 2 eggs in my yard. I rarely use the medium one. I almost always just use the large one. It's all I have in my yard. And I smoked a slab of ribs yesterday for about 4 or 5 hours. They were really good. And today I just cooked a 2-pound porterhouse on the same egg. There's nothing else besides a ceramic cooker that can do that and do both so well. And it's a good pizza oven too. The diversity is really my favorite thing about it. But the quality and it's just, no, people don't understand. They all, it's kind of like me. I was cheaping out on a thermopen. I wouldn't buy a thermopen. I was cooking next to the Dizzy Pig guys one day at the American Royal, and I kept borrowing theirs, and they were giving me shit because I was too cheap to buy one. And I went home and bought one, and it's the greatest $100 I ever spent. Yeah,
absolutely. Ray Lampe joining us here on the show. Next question is from Jim in Oklahoma. Ray, what's your favorite region of barbecue and why? And he's listing out, you know, the four faithful: Texas, KC, Memphis, and the Carolinas.
Well, first of all, it's not that simple. don't believe, go to these places, go see them. Texas, you really think, how big Texas is? You really think everything in Texas is the same? I mean, it's just not. And the Carolinas, what's about the Carolina? Pulled pork with coleslaw, right? Well, it's not though. When you go there, the pork is chopped into mush, and there's coleslaw on it. But there's also coleslaw. If you go to Big Bob Gibson's in Alabama, where everybody wants to talk about the white barbecue sauce, be careful because they're going to put coleslaw on your barbecue sandwich because that's how they serve it there. If you go to Memphis and order a barbecue sandwich, you're going to get pulled pork with coleslaw on top of it. It's just not that simple. All these regions. Now, my personal preference, I like the Texas places. It's just when you go to Lockhart, man, there's just nothing like it. Or Louis Mueller's over at Taylor. These places, literally, the door's been open for 100 years in the same place, and they just don't even think about switching to a gas cooker. They cook on these built-in brick pits, and that's just what they do. And it's just so genuine and so authentic, and I don't know how else to describe it. So that's probably my favorite. But like I always say, barbecue is about so much more than the food. Don't get hung up on the food. The culture is just amazing. Now I ate in 25 barbecue restaurants in North Carolina in a week one time with Dave DeWitt, the guy from Fiery Foods show, and we were disappointed in the history. We could not find. I didn't find a 100-year-old restaurant in North Carolina. I kept hearing it was the birthplace of barbecue. The best we could find was a picture in Lexington of some guys cooking some shoulders in the 30s. Now that's, Louis Mueller's has been open for 30 years by then. So at Arthur Bryant. So I don't know. I mean, Carolina is probably not my favorite. I do appreciate it. The pork, that's the way they serve it. I like it, but it's not my favorite. Kansas City, I have great attachment to because I have spent so much time there. But at the end of the day, if I was going to take you somewhere for just a few days, I'd take you to Texas.
All right, last question here. We got a couple minutes left, and this I'm debating which one I want to ask because one could be a loaded question. But I'll go ahead and throw caution to the wind. This is from Rich in Indiana. Ray, I have a cookbook in me, and I think I know what I want to do. However, I would like your guidance on what steps I should take to get it in the hands of a publisher.
Most publishers want you to have an agent, so let's start there. You're going to need to probably find an agent. Go look at publisher websites, and a lot of them will say, we don't accept submissions from authors. They want, basically what the agents do is filter it all out. They will cut through the bullshit. If your idea is not good or you're not capable of writing that book, the agent probably won't bother with you. And if enough agents say no, sorry, but you might not be a real project for you. And there's also self-publishing, but I can tell you we're not getting rich selling cookbooks. The only people getting rich selling cookbooks are on the Food Network.
Yeah, right. I was going to say, as far as the e-books have become very popular, the self-publishing, as you had mentioned, is that like, me hosting a radio show on the internet and saying I have a radio show, but it's really not kind of a thing? Or what's your take on the self-publish?
Well, radio internet shows have actually kind of made the way over the hump, I think.
Of course. It only took 10 years.
But, I don't know. Someone told me, and this is 10, 11 years ago now, wanted to do it. I was in the same situation. I wanted to write a book, and someone told me don't self-publish because you're sort of damaged goods and the publishers will never want any part of you after that. I don't know if that's true or not. I really don't. I took that advice and I waited till I had an opportunity with a publisher, and I'm just about to cut a deal to write my 9th and 10th book. So it's worked for me. I don't know. I'm not sure how that works. I mean, at the end of the day, if you self-publish or ebook, you probably make more dollars per book. But do you get it into all the stores? Do you get the right deals on Amazon? I just don't know. I'm afraid that writing barbecue books is becoming like barbecue sauce. How many do we really need? I keep writing them too, so I can't say don't write one. But as far as getting it to a publisher, the only way I know is through an agent. If there's a different way, I'm not familiar with it.
All right, find an agent, start it there, and they'll tell you if your book sucks or not, and you can find a new hobby to get into if it does. Ray Lampe joins us every month. AskDRBBQ.com if you have a question you want us to banter back and forth about next month, and you can keep up with Ray on his website, DRBBQ.com. Ray, as always, my pleasure, and we'll talk to you again, believe it or not, in October. Can you believe it?
Right as we're heading to the American Royal, right? No, it'll be after the American Royal.
Here we go. So we'll talk to you then.
Take care.
There he is, Ray Lampe, Dr. Barbecue. And doing a fine job as always. Ray Lampe, I said. Spell check fail. I didn't spell it wrong, dick. Get that big stuff out of here. I didn't spell lame wrong, dick. I spelled Lampe wrong. That's the problem. Nevertheless, we push ahead. Let me talk to you about Butcher's Barbecue. Jeff Elser, Rempe, I love drinking. How do I get paid for this? I don't know. But when you find out, sign me up. Sign me up. Gang, here we go. If you're like me, you want to try and find the ways that will help you increase the standard of awesome for your barbecue or grilling game. And, of course, there's no easier way to do that than by adding a little or a lot of it of Butcher Barbecue to your arsenal. That's right. We all know Butcher's Barbecue, well known for their injections, the pork, the beef, the prime injection, which has combined all the things loved from their beef injection using its award-winning flavor enhancer and its ability to keep your brisket juicy. They have combined it with what has become the competition standard in beef flavor. It's available for sale right now at butcherbbq.com. Also, don't forget, if you are so inclined to inject more flavor into your chicken, Bird Booster at Butcher Barbecue as well, in a veritable cornucopia of flavors. If you are looking for the rub or the sauce, no worries. You're good here, too. Butcher's Barbecue, full line of award-winning rubs. Love the steak and brisket rub. Love the honey rub on anything pork or chicken, actually. Or jalapeno poppers. Atomic buffalo turds, whatever you call them. The rubs have garnered a lot of attention across the internet. Sales are going through the roof. If you inject with Butcher's, try the premium rub. It's formulated to work hand-in-hand with the injection, a perfect 1-2 punch to impress the judges and friends alike. Last but not least, Butcher's Barbecue sauce, the sweet sauce. Look, when it comes to sauce, nobody's pickier than me. I've panned many a sauce on this show. People are brave enough to send me samples and say review it on the show. Dangerous. But I love Dave's. I think it was like a year or so ago, I was drinking the first bottle of sweet barbecue sauce that Dave ever sent me right out of the bottle during the show. Meathead remembers that. I think Meathead was on the show, and then he was like, "You're drinking that out of?" I was like, "Yeah, it's good." So believe me when I say it's good. No worries about breaking the bank on the shipping. Items totaling up to $55 ship at $8.55. Sorry, 50 cents. Items between $55 and $200 ship at $9.75. Anything over $200 ships for free. So as I always say, buy over $200 worth and get it for free. Trust me, you can rack up $200 easy, and you'll be thanking me and not paying shipping. Doesn't get any better than that. ButcherBBQ.com. Always trust your butcher. Basic Patrick coming up out of the break. Stick around.
Get in the smoke. Call 877-448-0433 to get on the air. Now, here's your host, Greg Rempe.
All right, welcome back. This portion of the Barbecue Central Show being brought to you by the Sam's Club National Barbecue Tour. Yeah, 31 cities, $500,000 in cash, bragging rights to win the whole thing. The next event will be September 6th. That's this coming Saturday in South Haven, Mississippi. It is a regional final that will send top 10 teams, to the national final in Bentonville, Arkansas on September 27th. To keep up with the tour, visit kcbs.us patreon.com/Sam's Tour. That's Sam's Club. All right. My next guest will be moving on to the Sam's Club National Finals on September 27th in the aforementioned Bentonville, Arkansas, after his team took a 5th overall this past weekend at the regional final in the Commonwealth of Richmond, Virginia. Here to recap the weekend and have a look ahead to the finals is the pitmaster of the Basic Barbecue team. And might I say, perhaps even more importantly than any of that crap, one of the most loyal Centralites ever on the face of the earth, ladies and gentlemen, first-timer to the show, pitmaster of the Basic Barbecue team, Patruck Paquette, joining me here on the show. Patruck, buddy, how are you?
I am well, Greg. I am well.
Lots of different places to go with you, specifically, Patruck, but perhaps the first thing is first. Let's find out, where the motivation or the desire or the momentous occasion that struck you that said, yeah, competition barbecue sounds like a great thing to do.
It was an accident. I think like a lot of people, I cook a lot, and I always cooked a lot, and I like to cook meat. And I would say a griller. I wouldn't necessarily call not a pure barbecue guy. But I had a friend who was a judge in the New England Barbecue Society, our home society. I had a friend who was a judge. And he was always telling me, you would love this stuff. You would love this stuff. And my wife and I, Wendy, went and got certified as a judge. And we judged in Cape Cod in 2011. And I knew that day that I didn't want to be a judge, that I wanted to be a competitor. And sort of after that, there was a contest a couple of weeks later. I had met Steve Farron and a few other Neb's regulars. I met Steve Farron through his old shop. I met Chris Hart through the Barbecue Brethren. There was this thing about if I brought a fish that when we were judging, and it was our first ever competition either that we even attended. So when we were judging, and me and Chris hooked up, I brought a fish. We smoked his fish on the Jambo. I was like a little kid. I met some people. Next thing I knew, I was told, hey, if you really want to compete, there's a contest that needs one more team to qualify. And like many people, we took our WSMs and we went up to this contest, and we got multiple calls. We actually, probably the worst thing that could have ever happened to me is that we broke even on the contest at our first contest. We were on our way home, and my wife said, you should probably look into not renting a trailer, but buying one if we're going to be doing this. And we were bit from that first contest.
Yeah, I was going to say, it sounds like it was pretty much hook, line, and sinker right after that.
Yes, I'm sorry, Greg. I'm getting yelled at in the background going, my camera wasn't on, and I guess it's on now.
There you are.
Look at
hey,
that.
Look at that son of a bitch. Look at that banner in the back. Yeah, baby.
This is the first time I've ever used Skype. It was just for you.
Oh, well, thank you. I mean, it actually looks really well. I'm going to fix the screen here real quick so we can...
We fly the Barbecue Central banner at every contest.
Do you find that it helps or hurts most of the time?
I believe it is one of my good luck charms.
Yes, of course. Thank you for saying that. The check is in the mail. All right, Patruck, let me ask you a different question here. I love how teams come up with names, and, pardon the pun, Basic Barbecue Team seems kind of basic. So did you is there like a nickname in there, or how does one land on the Basic Barbecue Team?
There's a two-part answer, but in the fishing world, in many different areas of my life, I am pretty much known as Basic Patruck, and it's a nickname. It comes from something a lot of people know. I don't drink. I've been in recovery for a very long time, and in Narcotics Anonymous, there's a book that's at the center of Narcotics Anonymous, and it's called The Basic Text, and that's sort of the inspiration for it. But there's also, when I was given that nickname by a friend of mine, we were away somewhere, and I'm into politics, and I tend to be into somebody who does service, like I'll serve on a lot of boards and whatnot. And a friend of mine called me one time, said, yeah, that's Basic Patruck, the oxymoron. My friend Chris Clegg from ZBQ, the team ZBQ, they've been very helpful to us since we started competing. Chris always says, yeah, it's the Basic Barbecue Team. There's not a chemical, an injection, a piece of technology that Patruck's not willing to use to get the job done. So it's a little bit of a play on words. Plus, it's got a little personal meaning for me as well.
Absolutely. Patruck Paquette joining me here on the show, pitmaster of the Basic Barbecue team. Let's go ahead and recap this weekend, I guess, Patrick. Well, maybe before we do that, you could refresh us on, your path into the regionals and what will now be the finals.
We cooked in Maine. We cooked in Scarborough, Maine, in round one, the local. In the local, we took third overall in what I would say was a field that was worthy of a final. It was. There were a lot of prestigious teams, the best of the best from New England and around the Northeast were there. And we were lucky enough to get third overall there. And we had a second place brisket and a third place pork, which was, those are two monster calls in that field. And that advanced us into Chesapeake.
All right. So as you look back on this past weekend's events, anything out of the normal that you didn't plan for, or something you had to contend with that you didn't, have something in the arsenal to shoot down and keep moving?
We had some prep issues during the week. It's unbelievably important. I trim and prep my meats at home before I go. I was taught that along the way, and I opened a brisket that had an issue, and the brisket had slices on it from the butchering machines, So I was scrambling a little bit, and once again, you'll hear me. I frequently brag about the community that is the New England Barbecue Society. One of my friends who was also competing knew of the situation. We were actually talking about it on Facebook some, and offered up a brisket that he had packed away in case he had made to the jack. And this was an unbelievably beautiful brisket, and he sort of bailed me out with a couple of days to go. He hooked me up with a brisket of the quality that I needed for this field.
Go ahead.
No, and the only other thing I would say is that at this level, we definitely trimmed. Like normally, I cook 12 pieces of chicken. To get my 12 pieces of chicken, I'm usually trimming 20, 25 pieces to get my 12. I actually went through 40 pieces of chicken to get my 12. I bought a case of ribs, and I culled the case of ribs to get the four racks of ribs that I did. I definitely spent my time making sure that I had the right meat going in the door.
All right, this isn't the question that I had coming up next, but I mean the amount of food that you're ciphering through to figure out what's going to make the cut to take to this event. Like, how much are you in before you even start cooking, money-wise?
Overall,
yeah,
we landed in Virginia. We landed at plus $1,400. You got to remember now that I was a 12-hour drive, or I'm a 9-hour drive from here in a motorhome. So there's a lot of money there. But for meat-wise alone, I'm plus $450.
And then you have entry fee and all that other stuff. So you're $1,400 in before you even start the weekend for you.
Probably the biggest, I think, that drawback to the growth or the competition barbecue sort of making it more mainstream is that it's an expensive game to play, and it's we track it. We're not wealthy people by any means. I think my wife and I think our income is an average blue collar income, and we definitely struggle. We cook a 9 this year. We may add a couple, and we spend a lot of money doing this, and it definitely makes you think sometimes, when you think you did as well. But honestly, if you don't show up with a certain level of meat, you're really not playing on the same field.
Patruck Paquette joining me here on the show, pitmaster of the Basic Barbecue team. As far as individual results go this past weekend, you were 11th in chicken, so just outside of the top 10.
With a 171, which wins a contest in New England anytime, and that just shows the depth of that field. We turned the chicken in. I knew it was good. I felt it was good. When we saw the score, it was like, okay, I got the score that I deserved. It was just the field was that good.
Yeah, I mean, I think the winning chicken was just shy of 178.
Yeah, just short of perfect.
Yeah, so top scores there, but just outside the top 10. So. You're right there. You get a 19.
We didn't know that, though.
No, of course you don't. But, I mean, I know it now. You don't get a call in ribs. So let me ask you, fairly seasoned competitor, not doing 50 a year like some of these folks. But, I mean, you know how the calls go. So when you don't hear your name for the first 2 categories, do you still remain optimistic, or do you think that you just shit the bed right off the bat, or where are you at after 2 calls in?
I was confident that the chicken wasn't going to kill me, because I like the chicken going in. I have zero confidence in my ribs. I'm struggling with ribs. They're our worst category by far. So I didn't expect a rib call. So going in, although I was nervous and I was a little bit bummed at not having a chicken call, I was really looking for the next 2. There was, like I said, ribs I sort of put aside, and I worry about ribs hurting me in the contest. The other 3 I have confidence. So I still had some hope going into the pork.
And you get a second,
which is our best category.
You get a second overall pork, so I have to imagine you're fairly elated with almost taking that whole category.
Yes, I was very happy. Pork's our best category. I expect it was a good pork box. You sort of get I've learned, at least with pork, I got an idea when it should get a top 5 call. I can see like what I want to turn in, and I had, we got that. I didn't, at this point in time, I was worried about being in the top 10 with just the 1 call, especially with not confidence in ribs. But the pork call kept me floating a little bit.
All right, so basically you get 1 call out of the 4. Brisket was just hanging around the top 10. It's 13th, so again, you don't hear your name. As the overalls are being called out, are you worried that because you only heard your name once, that you might not hit the top 10, or are you fairly confident that you were sniffing around top 10 and you're just outside?
Based on the fact that 3 Eyes Barbecue had 3 calls, Chick Swine and Bovine had 3 calls. I didn't think we had any. I didn't think we had a shot at the top 10 as it started. Very quickly, though, Stubborn Bull Barbecue out of New Jersey, another one of the great guys. He's sort of a half a Nebs guy. The Nebs crew is really tight. We have a really great community, and we support each other. We talk to each other, at contest. And Tim's basically might as well be from New England if we could get that Jets green paint off his thing. We were. I didn't have confidence, but he got a call, and he had 2 lower top 10 calls, but what was it? The next 2 calls were Chick Swine and Bovine and 3 Eyes got low top 10 calls. At that point, experience of competitions knew that with 1 call, you could have a good average. And beside the ribs, I was confident in average score. So I went from at the beginning of it thinking no shot to then going, well, if it's going to happen, it's going to happen right here in the middle, right after those 2 big teams had been called, who we were all, in my head, I was looking at them at Grand and Reserve, those 2 teams. So at that point in time, I thought it might happen, and the call came. It was, we were thrilled.
Obviously, you go into an event looking to win. I would imagine most pitmasters are doing that unless they just have a lot of money to blow for no good reason. But as you mentioned, hearing the results and getting that second place pork call, I mean, at some point, did you transition out of winning and just hoping to make sure you got that top 10 to advance? Advancing became more the pressing issue of the day?
Yeah, when there was no chicken call, winning was, in my mind, out the door. With no chicken in, rib call at that point in time, and other teams having 2 calls, I had no expectation of a win by any means. I was looking to be in the top 10. You're always looking for some miracle, but realistically, I was praying on the top 10. When the pork call came, it gave me a little bit of hope. I was pretty down after no chicken call and no rib call, but
to be expected. 25 days away from the finals. Top 50 teams from the series will have been locked and loaded at that point. And there's still 2 regional finals yet to hit. But given what you know as of Tuesday, September 2nd, where do you rate the Basic Barbecue team in chances of winning the whole damn thing?
I'm looking for the scale. You want me rating it, but I'm going there to take first place, Greg.
Yeah, 100% chance of winning. That's right. You didn't say it. I'll say it for you.
I didn't say it. You want it by percentage?
Yes.
77.
All right, I'll take that. That's an odd number, literally, figuratively.
I'd be lying if I didn't say we were honored to make Chesapeake because of the quality of teams and I knew a lot of them that were in Scarborough, Maine.
Yep.
To get through this field was amazing. The place where we placed, ahead of who we placed, behind who we placed, was amazing. The fact that we're going to stand in that parking lot and compete with the people that are there, 730 something teams out of the 750 spots I think entered, and that we're down to the top 50, like, it's a win there. My goal is to come home even to get enough calls to get my gas money back. It's 1,555 miles from my home is that parking lot in Arkansas.
Each way?
Each way.
Holy jeez, oh Pete.
We're really psyched. I'll say this. We're going to get to meet Diane Mee from the chat room.
Yeah, that's right.
She's qualified.
She's been on the show before.
That's what I'm looking forward to. David Qualls has been a friend who I met through this chat room and through the Cook Shack forums, because I cook on a Fast Eddie on an FEC, and he used to. And going to see David, I'm hoping to see David. He's still got to go through his rounds, but that's what I'm like looking forward to. That I'm looking forward to putting my food up against the best in the country and seeing how she fares. I want to represent New England well. We're going there for the experience. Our intention is to go there and win. My goal is to put the 4 category boxes, to put my meat, what I want out of my meat, to put that in the box and to turn it in, and then let the judges decide. Like, I know what I want my pork box to be. I know what I want my chicken box to be. If I do as good as I believe I can, then I'll be happy. And then the rest is sort of ice cream.
Patrick Paquette is the pitmaster of the Basic Barbecue team, heading to the Sam's Club National Finals on September 27th to take his hand against the 49 other top teams that will be there vying for the overall championship. Of course, I couldn't wish you more good luck than I possibly could as a human being, Patrick, but I will do my level best and send you, fuck tons of karma to make sure that we put you over the top. But appreciate the recap on the event this past weekend, and continued success, man. Let's bring it home for the show.
Thank you very much, Greg.
Yep.
Thank you.
You got it. There he is. Patrick Paquette from the Basic Barbecue team. And dare I say, especially for them, cooking very well. You don't have to win to be on the show. Finish in 5th place or 9th place or 3rd place. I'm going to support the people that support me. I'm going to have you on the show. We're going to talk about it. 5th place is nothing to sneeze at. 3rd place, nothing to sneeze at over those fields that he has gone through now to move on to the final. Congratulations to Patrick and Wendy from the Basic Barbecue team. Good luck at the end of the month. Public service announcement, folks. Barbecue brothers and sisters from one of your show sponsors, Stephen DeFranco of Stephen DeFranco Jewelers, also an admitted barbecue junkie. Many holidays are coming throughout the year. What to get mom? What to get dad? New clothes? Nah, new shoes. Forget it. Barbecue sauce gets all over that stuff. No ties for dad, no crappy skirts for mom. How about a fine handcrafted watch? Steve has an incredible selection of watches, perfect for dear old dad or dear old mom. Bulova watches. Why spend a ton of money on a watch if you don't have to? Bulova watches are stylish, affordable, starting under $200. Bulova watches come in traditional quartz styles and retro-styled automatic versions. They also have chronographs and skeletons. They fill out the Bulova line of timepieces. You have the Precisionist model or line. Want a most accurate watch in the world? Who doesn't? Bulova Precisionist is just that watch. The exclusive movement of the Bulova Precisionist breaks down second-hand movements into 16 segments per second. Giving the second hand a smooth-moving appearance, steel and titanium versions are available as well, and they can be customized with color on top of that with their in-house painter. Then you have the Accutron, high-end without the high price, Cadillac of the Bulova line. The Accutron is the pinnacle of high-end design without breaking the bank. Starting below $600, the Accutron watch gives you the high-end style, quality, and lifestyle without breaking the bank. Citizen, gadget junkie. Citizens is perfect for the gadget guy or gal. EcoDrive technology converts light into energy, powering your watch perfectly and accurately. Need a timer for your barbecue cooking? Some Citizens have multiple timers along with alarms and multiple time zones. And don't forget about that cottage watchmaker out there on the west side of Cleveland, Phillip & Company. Starting at just about $900, Philip watches not only have an elegant European style, but they're affordable. On all his watches are serial numbered and registered with Philip himself. So check out Steven's website, StevenDeFranco.com. That's StevenDeFranco.com. Then call him once you find what you like, 440-943-2700. He'll give you the barbecue brother or sister hookup, the real discounted price, because he's not allowed to show it on the website. StevenDeFranco.com, 440-943-2700. That's Steven DeFranco, official jeweler to the barbecue stars. All right, we're back to wrap up the first hour.
Big name interviews,
Right
advice on cooking brisket and ribs, and the only host willing to share his honest opinion on all things important in the world of barbecue. It's the Barbecue Central Show.
All right, I am rapidly behind, and we need to get going here. So I will bid you a quick segment fondue. We're back to reload with the second hour right after this. Thanks again to Patrick Paquette from the Basic Barbecue team. We'll be back in seconds. Stick around. We'll be right back.
From my heart and from my hand, why don't people understand my intention?
Happy to have you aboard here for the Really Big Barbecue Show.
We cook because we have to, and we grill because we want to.
Fine, how you going?
You have a great show. I'm a big fan. So what seems to be the problem here? This man looks like he's dead, and he's in the crackle.
Charbono! It's all about the charbono, dude!
Succulent fish, what?
He ate 54 wieners.
But listen, Lavernius, shake a face.
I'm shaking like a dog shit peach seeds.
We have top men working on it right now. Top men.
And just like that, we are into the second hour. That's right. You have found, stumbled upon, and or happened at the Barbecue Central Show. This show talks about all things important in the world of barbecue and grilling. I broadcast live and direct from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame city of Cleveland, Ohio. It's the barbecue capital of the North Coast. I am your program host, Greg Rempe. Happy to have you for the second hour. If you missed the first hour, never fear. You can get this show multiple ways on replay. It'll be up before midnight tonight. How about that? You visit my website, thebbqcentralshow.com. You call me, 216-220-0966. You email the show, greg at thebbqcentralshow.com. All those ways. It's fun. We have a good time here every Tuesday. You should stop by more often. Catch the show live if you possibly could. Hey, still to come on the show tonight, Dave Benjamin about Hotbox Grills, and we'll be talking with Scott Roberts from scottrobertsweb.com, the official Barbecue Central sauce and rub reviewer. Coming up on the show next week, second Tuesday of every month, Meathead. This coming Tuesday, Meathead and I will be discussing at some length, I'm not sure exactly if it's an in-depth thing or if it's going to be like high level, whatnot, but pizza on the grill. We're going to have a Meathead pizza segment. A lot of people have been asking for me and Meathead to talk about pizza on the grill. It's one of my favorite things on the grill, especially if you do have those ceramic-style cookers that Ray and I were talking about. It does afford you the opportunity to find that heat that is needed for the thin-style pizzas. You know, I've tried the thick-crust pizzas on the cooker, and the high temperatures and all that, don't work too good.
Get that big stuff out of here.
The middle stay a little doughy. I don't like that. I want a nice crisp crust. Crisp. Folks, the 2014 Sam's Club Series, as I had mentioned in the last segment, rolled into the Commonwealth of Richmond, Virginia this past weekend. Again, a regional final, seeing the top 10 teams move on to the national finals in Bentonville, Arkansas on September 27th, so like 25 days from now. The top 10 teams moving on to the finals in Bentonville, Arkansas are taking grand champion Checkered Flag 500 barbecue at a 673. Coming up. In Reserve Grand Championship fashion, longest-running sponsor of this show. No surprise to this barbecue competition watcher, Bob Trudnak and the folks over at the Barbecue Guru. Boom. Big Block Barbecue taking third place. Redneck Scientific taking fourth. Who was that fifth place guy? Oh, yeah. Patrick Paquette and the Basic Barbecue team. Moving on at a 669 clip. Chick Swine and Bovine taking sixth. Insane Swine Barbecue seventh. Three Eyes Barbecue taking eighth place. Ninth place, Stubborn Bull Barbecue. And rounding out the top 10, moving on to Bentonville, Smokin' Dudes Barbecue. Congratulations! I really appreciate Patrick taking the time to come on the show this past segment and talking about how they got into it. And look, I don't know how many times I've had a pitmaster on this show and say, well, how do you get on the competition barbecue scene? Well, it was just by chance, and then we won, and then we were hooked. Yeah. There were some other questions I wanted to ask Patrick, just ran out of time. That's what happens when you're an incredibly good interviewer like me and you don't set aside time preferences and decide to go off on your own. I saw this on livefreelivenatural.com. Livefreelivenatural.com. 25 things fast food restaurants don't want you to know. In the pre-scriptural, it says, we all know that fast food is incredibly unhealthy, but what are some secrets from inside the industry that these chains don't want you to know? From interesting to disgusting, potentially deadly? Check out these 25 things that fast food corporations don't want you privy to. Number 25. Those grill marks on your burgers aren't real. They're put there by the factory. What? Are you telling me that those grill marks on my Burger King burger didn't come from the grill? Outrageous. 24. If you want to make sure your French fries are fresh, order them without salt. It will force them to cook a new batch. Then you can add your own salt. Oh, good tip right there. I'll take it. 23rd fact. Fast food chili is just made out of meat from old burgers. Really? Never knew that. Number 22. Those salads you're ordering have nearly just as many calories as one Big Mac. Oh, no. 21. One way to measure the cleanliness of a fast food restaurant is to look up in the ice chute of the drink dispenser. You'll be surprised how often you can find mold up there. Oh, no. Yeah. Suck again. 20. Actually, nearly 50% of restaurant fountain drink dispensers have fecal bacteria. Ew. Number 19, the pictures of fast food you see in advertisements are airbrushed and touch up with fiberglass. It takes 2 hours just to set up one hamburger. Well, you know what? That's not necessarily incorrect, because I worked briefly for a food photographer, but I'll tell you this. They have to use the food they put in the pictures. Absolutely. That is true. They do airbrush that shit, but the food that's in there, they have to use the ingredients. That's not fake food. You know, that's not shaving cream for whipped topping. No. That's against the law. Number 18, in restaurant kitchens, more people follow the 10-second rule than you'd like to think. Number 17, fast food restaurants throw away an incredible amount of food every night. Number 16, at some places like Taco Bell, the food carries over. So guess that they serve you in the morning. So guess what they serve you in the morning? What? The stuff from yesterday. Number 15, even some restaurants from the same chain can have vastly different standards in quality, and usually depends upon the management. Number 14, fast food workers are supposed to wear gloves when they prepare food, but most of them don't follow that rule. Number 13, if you look around the parking lot dining area, or bathroom and you see a lot of trash, what do you think the less visible places like the kitchen look like? Ooh. All right, let's go right to the top 10. Fast food milkshakes can easily contain over 50 kinds of chemicals. Number 9, fast food is filled with high fructose corn syrup because it's cheaper sweetener. It also tricks your body into wanting more of it. What? It's a trick? In many places, just before close, all the coffee is decaf, whether you order it with caffeine or not. This is because nobody wants to clean 2 different coffee pots. Lazy. Number 7, be careful with lemons you drink. Everybody touches them, nobody washes them, and you just get cut up and laid out. Number 6, cashiers are not allowed to tell you how many calories are in a particular dish, even if they know. They're supposed to say all that information is available online. Number 5, those scrambled eggs are made out of powder. Number 4, quite often fast food salads are made several days earlier and just sit in a tray in the refrigerator until someone orders them. Number 4, number 3, one hamburger can easily contain meat from up to 100 different cows. What? Number 2, fast food restaurants are one of the biggest exploiters of cheap domestic labor. They are usually actively engaged in anti-union activities. And the number 1 thing that fast food restaurants don't want you to know about. Fast food restaurants load their kids' meals with extra sugar to make them more appealing to kids. Even the pizza crust is not exempt. No! What? Are you telling me that fast food restaurants are somehow lacing their food, making kids want it more and more? I don't believe it. No, I can't hear you, I can't see you, I can't hear you. I gotta tell you, not some of the most surprising revelations that I've heard. Again, that's live healthy, live natural, or whatever. Hold on a second. I'm reading a text message from one of my loyal listeners that drove by the Sam's event in Richmond, saw Basic Patruck taking 5th place overall. Right. Right, folks, let's talk about it. El Diablo Mustard. That's right, whether you are tailgating for a college or a pro team, September is kickoff season for the diehard football fans, and El Diablo Mustard wants to turn yo tailgate into a blazing affair. Try adding some El Diablo's fiery habanero, roasted chipotle, flaming jalapeno, or spicy mango into your favorite tailgate recipe, and you'll add a new layer of flavor that kicks that hot and intense thing into high gear. El Diablo features 6 bold flavors that taste great and are hot as hell. Try mango for Sweet Island heat. Add a kick of Southwest with roasted chipotle. Try Steakhouse for a zing of Worcestershire and tangy tomato. Make an ordinary dog an instant chili dog with El Diablo's Texas chili. And try jalapeno on some hot bacon or a burger for real jalapeno puree and mustard zing. Or try habanero for a flavor inferno you daring types demand for all heat all day. Connect with El Diablo on the Facebook and on the Twitters for recipes for the tailgate, for tips, for giveaways, bold flavors, great taste, and hot as hell. El Diablo is the mustard that bites back. You can find out about them at eldiablomustard.com. That's eldiablomustard.com. Tailgating. It's tailgate season, boys and girls. That's right. Bring it on. Bring it on. Bring it on. eldiablomustard.com. Oh, well, if I didn't... Here's a brief message here, folks. Self-promoter Clinton Cantwell from Smoke in My Eye .word. FYI, I'll be competing on Travel Channel's American Grilled at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Central Wednesday night, if you all want to catch it. And I promise no watery mac and cheese. What does that mean? I don't know. But we're back with Dave Benjamin from Hotbox Grills right after this, I can tell you that. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Broadcasting live from the BBQ Central Radio Network studios in Cleveland, Ohio. You're listening to the BBQ Central Radio Show. Once again, here's your host, Greg Rempe.
All right. Welcome back. Bit delayed. Apologize. 216-220-0966. Greg at the BBQCentralShow.com. This portion of the Barbecue Central Show being brought to you by CookinPellets.com. Your number one source for quality wood pellets for all of your pellet-driven cookers. Visit CookinPellets.com for more information or to purchase. You can also visit Amazon.com and buy cooking pellets right from Amazon. Who's ever heard of Amazon? You can get cooking pellets there. CookinPellets.com, proud sponsor of this show. Happy to have them, by the way. All right, Centralites, you are on the hunt for a truly portable cooking unit. Don't lie. Tailgating is coming up. You like to camp. You're a backyard fun guy or gal, and you want to have something truly portable, something unique. You're going to want to listen to this next segment, as the person joining me now has a product that just might fit the bill. Let's go ahead and welcome in first-timer to the show, creator of the Hotbox Grill, Dave Benjamin, joining me here on the show. Dave, how are you, man? Dave.
Yes.
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing great, Greg. How about yourself?
Oh, I'm doing absolutely fabulous, Dave. Appreciate you making time for the show tonight. I guess right off the top, for the folks that are listening in the instant chat or online and have access to the computer, hotboxgrills.com is the website if you want to check it out and kind of see what we're going to be talking about. You know, for the folks on the video side, we're going to be flashing some pictures here as well. But Dave, as we get started with you, maybe a little background about yourself professionally maybe, and then we'll start mixing in a little bit of the hotbox.
Sure, yes. Basically, I've been a self-employed master carpenter contractor up here in Northern Illinois for pretty much most of my life. So being self-employed has really been, for me, something that I've enjoyed. I'm a designer, I'm a carpenter, so I like to build things, design things, work with my hands. And family man, I have three beautiful kids. I have three stepkids. We got a pretty big family up here, so you know I had to learn how to cook and get them all fed. So it's been a long, nice employment for me, and I still enjoy what I do. And so that basically is my background. I've been in Northern Illinois my whole life. It's a little place called Roscoe, Illinois, which is just north of Rockford, right on the Wisconsin border. So we get plenty of cold weather up here, but we grill year round.
Dave, you know, master carpenter, to me, the layman signifies things like, you know, wood and being able to craft stuff like cabinets and so forth, which I would love to be able to do, but I'm the worst handyman ever on the face of the earth. So where does the hotbox grill concept start to fester in your brain, and how do you kind of grab hold of it and start to make a run with it?
Yeah, this is more something that actually happened by chance, not by choice. We did tailgating at Purdue, Boilermakers in Indiana, where my wife's family is from, and we would go. This is back in 07, 08, and 09, and every time we went, we would have a hard time finding a good, quality, sturdy, portable grill that was large enough to handle a group. And one evening, I just decided to start tinkering with some drawings because that's what I enjoy to do is design, and started to bring around this design for the Hotbox portable grill. And that was at the end of 09. And then in 10, the first part of 010, is when we decided to go ahead and make a prototype. And so I wanted to look at it in 3 dimensions, and then once I had the prototype done in the first part of 010, it just kind of moved forward from there.
So I guess for the people that haven't seen it or heard about it or aren't able to watch the video that I'm playing right now, paint a mental picture for us as far as what the hot box is all about, and I guess why you think it kind of is unique to the market segment that it hits.
Well, the one key element, or more than one key element, but a main key element that was important to me was the ability to adjust charcoal levels in a portable grill. And basically, the firebox itself is 24 inches by 18 inches, and it's got 2 levels of charcoal. What we've done is I've gone ahead and we've broken down our charcoal trays into 3 individual trays. So what you can have is you can have charcoal level on two different levels, high for searing, low for slow roasting. And so the firebox is unique in that you can actually adjust your charcoal heights to whatever you're cooking or roasting or smoking. Our hood is more, I call it a hip roof. That's sort of a kind of a home builder's description of the look of the hood. It kind of looks like a hip roof on a house, and it lends itself to the dome, kind of a dome design, where once you have the firebox fired up and you put the hood on, it gives you that rotation of heat inside what you need to roast. We've got 2 firebox vents, one in either end, and then we have 2 vents in the hood. So it gives you a lot of good circulation and a lot of ability to control the heat.
Dave, we're talking with Dave Benjamin, by the way, creator of the Hotbox Grill. You can find it at hotboxgrills.com. Obviously, there's other, I guess what you could term mobile cooking units. The Smoky Joe comes to mind and so forth. But, this one is obviously a little bit different. Did you think that there was something missing from the segment in regards to true portability or being able to break something down and when it's put back together, still have it be sturdy and have a decent amount of cooking space to get food done?
Yes, because I look at hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of different portable grills, and our biggest problem was to try to find something, like I said, large enough to cook for a lot of people, but yet you could fold it up in a way that you could easily slip it into a trunk or into a van, into an RV. The 4 sides of the firebox itself, all 4 sides are hinged. They're piano hinged, and all the hinges are stainless steel. We powder coat everything. So the 2 of the sides fold in and 2 of the sides fold under, and basically when the firebox is folded in that fashion, it actually fits inside the hood. So you end up with a nice compact 24 by 18 by about 7-inch tall package that can hold upwards of an 18-pound turkey. You can do 20 pounds of pork butt, a couple beer can chickens. We've had 30 hamburgers on this thing. So it's the portability of it really is, I think, a key to making the grill, something that everybody can use, because it also smokes as well as grills, and it holds the heat. We make it with some fairly heavy-duty steel, so it does hold the heat. You can walk away for 6 hours, and it will still maintain about a 240-degree temperature.
In regards to the development of the project, how long does it take to go from concept, getting that first beta test, and coming up with something that you at least feel relatively confident that you want to bring to the market? How much time passes between those 2 points?
Yeah, it's a long, drawn-out process. Like I said, my day job is still being a contractor up north. And once we had our design prototyped and finished in 2010, we basically took the year 2010 and just sort of cranked out a couple of units and then tested them all the way through 2010. Kind of tweaking things here and there and, making a few changes. And then it wasn't until 2011 that we decided to go ahead and we were making some we call them made bench units, which is more or less a custom-made unit that is made in the shop on a bench, by the guys that we have we've not employed, but that we hired to put these together. So it was really just a matter of taking some time to make sure of what we had was working the way we wanted it to work. And 2010 proved that it is doing some things that we were really not expecting. Once you shut the unit down, it actually kills the coals. So you will, the next day, have coals left for your next fire up. So it started to do some things that really surprised us. And so we kind of worked with just some small sales and testing out some customers and getting some good feedback. And then it was 2013 that we went ahead and made our shop forms. And basically what a shop form is a form that's pretty well detailed out so that now every unit that we make is exactly the same. And that was kind of our goal, was to make sure that the hot box grills, when they come off the line, more or less, they're all built exactly the same, and that was our quality control. It does take a couple of years, 2-3 years to go through the process of testing and making changes.
Dave Benjamin from Hotbox Grills joining us here on the show. Hotboxgrills.com is the website. Dave, is this something that's made here in the United States?
Yeah, that's another thing we're very proud of. It's made here in the States. It's made right here in southern Wisconsin and northern Illinois. It is all pretty much 95% American-made steel, American-made products that we use. We have high-temperature handles on the grill's hood. We have high-temperature plastic handles that actually attach the four corners together. Our 3-inch tailgating legs are all stainless steel. And as I said, all our hinges are also stainless steel. And, that's something that we wanted to build in quality. We wanted it tough. We wanted the grill to be very versatile. And I think we're at a point now where we're very happy with the design. We just recently made a nice design change on the hotbox grill. In the past, our first unit that came out, in order to adjust our charcoal trays, you had to actually drop aside in order to make those adjustments. Now, the new design, once the firebox is assembled and the ash pan is in place, you can adjust your charcoal trays with the firebox completely closed. It makes it very easy to use and very versatile as far as going right from a hot grill where you're searing a steak to adjusting your charcoal trays to go ahead and like slow roast chickens or do some beer can chicken. So we're really happy with the new design change.
In regards to, let me ask this question. I asked you if they were American made. Was there ever any consideration about, outsourcing to, not cheapen it, but obviously if you can go somewhere else, the cost of doing business in other places is a little less expensive than doing it here in the States. Was it of superior importance to make sure that it was built here in the States, or did you ever consider, farming it out somewhere else to lessen the cost, I guess?
Yeah, no, I know to raise margins, that's one thing to do, but our main goal, our main thought in mind is we want to keep our product in the States. We want to keep the guys and the girls that are working in our community. We want to keep them working. And at this juncture, I really don't even have a thought of outsourcing anywhere, but we want to keep it right here in northern Illinois. In fact, I think when CB was on the show last week, he had mentioned a product that we all love is grill grates. And grill grates is actually made right here in our community.
Really?
So we've got, they're made right up here in Beloit, Illinois, Beloit, Wisconsin. Well, it's Beloit, Illinois, and then Roscoe, Illinois. And they're made right up here. In fact, the factory that makes the grill grates is on the same road that I live on. And the company that I deal with that actually assembles and manufactures the hot box grills is like a mile and a half away from where we're at. So, we're keeping the community people working, and that's what we're planning on doing. We're going to keep it USA made.
How much does it weigh put together, minus the charcoal, but how much does it weigh carrying around?
If you actually loaded everything, that includes the other change we made, which we switched to a 1/2-inch expanded metal food grade system, which is similar to what you find in some of the competition smokers. So that added some weight to it, but it also made it another, just sort of another step towards a heavy duty grill and smoker. But it weighs about 55 pounds with everything.
All right, so a solid unit to be sure, 55 pounds. As far as price, what are we looking at for one of these to buy?
On our website, we list them at $359 out the door, free delivery. And we just switched to free delivery prior to Labor Day, and we're going to keep it that way. I think, at least right on through the tailgate season and into probably the winter. So $359 free delivery to the lower 48 states, barring, of course, Hawaii and Alaska. We'll ship there, not a problem. It's just that we would need, shipping information so we can fix that out. But that's our website price right now.
Was there any battling of the mind? You hear portable grill, you see it. It's not huge, but obviously it's a solid piece. And then you see a price tag of $359, and immediately Americans love to have things that are American made. They're inherently cheap bastards at the same time. Have you had to battle any of the quote unquote sticker shock to build that value in the unit?
Well, I haven't had anyone to date actually come to me and say, "Wow, this is really, really high." Because what I've done, we've done a lot of comparison with a lot of the quote portable grills on the market today, and if you have a product that's unique and as versatile as the Hotbox grill, I could not find we couldn't find anything out there that we could really apples to apples. If you look around at some of the higher quality so-called portable grills, they're going to be, in that ballpark. And as far as size goes, I don't think there's a portable grill on the market out there that can actually touch the size of the cooking chamber that we have. We have 360 plus square inches of grilling surface. And as far as how much cavity space there is to roast things, like I said, I've done an 18-pound turkey in this. So there's a lot of room in this grill, and it's hard. You'd be hard pressed today, I think, to find a portable grill that has the size, made in the USA, and as versatile and as sturdy as the Hotbox grill.
Dave Benjamin from Hotbox Grills joining me here on the show for a few more minutes. Dave, in regards to purchasing, is it only through the website, or have you worked any type of pull-throughs on a dealer situation, or how you go about getting one?
Well, right now it's pretty much a website. If there are individuals in the area that can actually do a pickup, and we can pick up at our manufacturer, we'll even discount it further if they can do a pickup. But right now everything's pretty much done through the website. We're in the process of kind of building up, some distributors and building up some sales reps. So we're in that stage right now of development where 2014 moving forward is kind of we're in a growing state. Have you
been told, or have other entrepreneurs mentioned the fact that you should look to get on something like an Amazon or get into a big box store?
The Amazon, yeah. I mean, these are things that we're going to, as we move forward, we'll probably be getting into. I don't really anticipate us getting too involved with any of the big box stores. We're going to try to pretty much stay website. We're going to stay with dealers. We're looking for wholesalers, looking for some sales reps. And like I said, I seriously doubt a big box store is going to be in the future for Hotbox Grills. It's just, an area that I've spoken to a lot of people in the barbecue business throughout the entire nation, a great group of people. I mean, they're just fabulous as far as helping.
Yep.
And I've gotten a lot of feedback from them, and the feedback is if you get into a big box store, you're sometimes looking for trouble. So we're going to stay website and dealers for now.
Dave Benjamin is the creator of Hotbox Grills. You can find that at hotboxgrills.com. Dave, really appreciate the time tonight and getting us to know a little bit about the Hotbox. Continued success, man. Let's follow progress and see how you do.
I sure will, Greg.
All right, Dave. Thanks so much. Dave Benjamin. Hotbox Grills, hotboxgrills.com. And so here's a guy who has literally been at it since 2010 to some degree. It's now, 2014, as we say, rapidly coming to a close. And 2015 could be the growth, seismic growth of Hotbox Grills. If you didn't see the video that I was showing there on the video side of things because you were on the audio stream only or listening through iTunes Radio or LA Talk Radio or whatever, go to hotboxgrills.com. You can see the whole video on how to actually use it. Dave does a very good job of educating you on how the cooker works, how to put it together, features, benefits, all that good stuff. I would like to have one in the arsenal. I'm not going to lie. I have all the cookers. I don't have anything that size, that portable I could take down to the Muni lot and throw down with the Cleveland Browns with. Folks, do you need an easy and consistent cooker for barbecue? Check out Cook Shack's line of cookers. They have the electric models. They have the Fast Eddie line of cookers. If you're pretty much one to fit any kind of budget or any size that you're going to need, maybe it's just you and a significant other. You're not going to be cooking for hundreds and hundreds of people. You get the smaller electric ones. They're very economical to run. You can use the chunks of wood. They got that heating element. If you want a little extra smoke, you can use the smoke logs, all that good stuff. You can check them out at cookshack.com. 800-423-0698. That's 800-423-0698. For instance, there's this AmeriQ. It uses real wood chunks to smoke your foods. It's inexpensive to operate. It's efficient due to the spin glass insulation and heavy-duty stainless steel construction. It features a digitally controlled thermostat. And it has a meat probe. It holds up to 50 pounds of meat and vegetables. All Cook Shack products, of course, come with a no-risk 30-day money-back guarantee. You know what that means? You can use it for 30 days, as much as you want. You can cook on it 8 times a day for 30 days. I'm no mathematician. That's roughly 75,000 different cooks in 30 days, give or take. And then you don't like it? Send it back. Give your money back. Don't delay. Go to the website now, cookshack.com. Call one of their friendly sales support team members, 800-423-0698. Tell them you heard about their products right here on this show, Barbecue Central Show. Maybe they'll hook you up with an extra discount of something or throw in a spice rub or let you talk to Stuart Powell for 5 minutes for free. Maybe not. He's very busy. Maybe Fast Eddie, though. Again, that's cookshack.com, 800-423-0698, located in the Ponca City, Oklahoma. All right, Scott Roberts coming out of the bullpen next to review sauces and rubs. You're listening and watching the Barbecue Central Show right here on the Barbecue Central Networks.
Big name interviews, advice on cooking brisket and ribs. And the only host willing to share his honest opinion on all things important in the world of barbecue. It's the Barbecue Central Show.
Who would have thought this music thing was going to go this far? I never asked for this. I never asked for this fast living, the women, the whiskey.
All right, welcome back, 216-220-0966. Greg at the BBQCentralShow.com. Blake, it was Matthew Boer. Boer? Hey, when I hear hot box, I think of two significantly different things. Perv. Way to go, Perv. Way to class up the show. Hot box. Haha, I get it. Way to go. Where to go? Damn it. All right, here to help me close the show in proper fashion, a monthly guest, the official sauce and rub reviewer of the Barbecue Central Show, fiery food expert, blogger, writer, voiceover artist, Scott Roberts joining me here on the show. Scott, how are you, bud?
Fantastic. How you doing, Greg?
Doing absolutely fabulous, Scott. Appreciate you asking and making time for the show as always. Of course, Scott is the official sauce and rub reviewer here for the show, and I was just trying to think earlier today, how long have we been doing the official sauce and rub reviewing for the show now? Is it like 2 years or 3 years or
4 years actually? In
for real?
2010.
4 years?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, hard to believe. Long time ago we started this.
This is, I guess it's true when they say the time flies when you're having fun.
Of course.
I don't know who they are, but boy, they're
It's
smart.
no exception.
That's right. So we're going to get to the 3 items that you have here for review in a second, but I wanted to get your take on the other thing that you're an expert in, which is the world of fiery foods. Is any like late breaking news or events that are coming up that you might be at for people to meet and get autographs, or what's happening in that world?
We are in the thick of Fiery Foods Festival season right now. There's a show called the Houston Hot Sauce Festival here towards the end of September. I really want to go. I cannot guarantee 100% that I will be there, but if you guys happen to be there, the Texas, I guess, would be the West Louisiana area. That is a terrific outdoor festival to attend. I mean, of course, not just a hot sauce. They have the salsa, barbecue, all kinds of different great products. Great vendors are going to be there. Whether or not I'm there, everyone should attend. Other than that, I'm pretty light as far as the festivals. I'm probably going to keep it local around here in the St. Louis area this fall.
What's happening at a festival? Like if I go to this one in Texas, I get on the private plane and shoot on down. Like what can I expect to see there? Is it just people eating hot peppers and trying to outdo each other, blowing flames out of their butt? Or is it like people selling wares? Or is it like an expo type of a show for fiery food stuff? How does it go down?
Sometimes they do. Sometimes there will be eating contests, different events, live music at these types of festivals. At its bare bones, you will have, a couple dozen booths of people selling all kinds of different products. So you can just walk around and taste. But some of the flavor combinations and different concoctions people can make are just amazing, mind-blowing. Yeah, you get your standard run-of-the-mill red Louisiana-style pepper sauces. You can buy those in the store. But I look for at these types of festivals are people trying something new, something different. And one of those such products I'm going to be reviewing tonight.
All right, well, good segue. Let's get right into it. The first thing we're going to be talking about tonight is Nate Paul's sweet barbecue sauce.
Okay, now this one, and Paul's here, is billed as a sweet barbecue sauce. To me, I enjoy different types of regionalities when it comes to barbecue sauce, different flavor profiles. I do like a nice sweet edge, but usually when it comes from brown sugar, something like molasses, when you get a barbecue sauce that tastes like a really strong, supercharged ketchup, I'm not a huge fan of that. That is what Nate Paul's is. Very dominant tomato flavor, and I love a good fresh tomato flavor in a sauce. But it is so tart, just so, I don't want to call it irritating, but it's just so out there that you have to really balance it out with something sweet, something smoky, to really make it palatable. Now, my son, Kevin, he's 13 years old. He's a budding chili head. He's done reviews on my blog before. He's developing quite a palate, but I don't want to attribute it to the kid in him who still kind of likes ketchup. He loves this, wants to put it on everything. I'm just not a fan of that really strong ketchup flavor, except for a few different applications. This, I really wouldn't recommend it too much. Like I said, unless you have something else to balance it out. And yeah, you could have good combinations of a seasoning, a rub, and a sauce together. But to me, a good sauce, you really don't need that. So this one, I would probably have to say, everyone, you should pass on.
Wow, pass. All right. Where can you get it? How much is it? And what size bottle do you get?
Okay. You can buy it at natepauls.com. It comes in a 12-ounce bottle for $4 plus shipping. Relatively inexpensive for an online purchase. And as far as the overall rating, I would have to give us an oven baker.
Oh, holy moly, oven baker.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's quickly take that screenshot of the website off. Forget that. All right, $4, 12-ounce bottle. NatePauls.com if you want to check it out. Oven baker. So we all know what that means. Next item that we're going to be talking about a Jersey Barnfire black garlic hot sauce. So this is probably this. Is this the one you were talking about?
This is the one I'm talking about that really, really just breaks all the boundaries between a hot sauce, a barbecue sauce, a steak sauce, an all-purpose kind of sauce. I love it when sauce makers try things new, try things just completely off the beaten path where you really don't know, well, what should I try this on? And it gives you kind of a sense of adventure in the kitchen or out by the grill. This one, of course, it is billed a hot sauce, technically, but there are just so much more to it. There's just a rich combination of garlic, onions, tomatoes, just an overall kind of vegetable medley feel to it. And you get the flavor of the peppers in it. There are some kind of hot peppers to it. So if you like things on a spicy end of things, it's not going to, make you shoot flames out of your ass or anything like that. But it does have a spicy edge to it. But the overall rich, dark black garlic flavor, such a great sweet flavor to it. I just happen to love this. And as far as what to put it on, you can put it on anything. I tried it with seafood. And I know when you get some white meat fish, you really want to use kid gloves when it comes to adding flavors to it. You want to apply the flavors very lightly, just a lightly season, like fruit flavors. Normally something like this, a barbecue sauce, something really heavy would be way too much for fish, seafood, shrimp. Not this. It adds just the perfect amount of additional flavor to it. And it's great on chicken. It's great just mixed with anything you could find in the kitchen. It's good as a hot sauce. Now, I wouldn't venture over into like putting it on tacos and nachos and things like that to add a little bit of heat to that kind of Mexican food. Use other types of hot sauce for that. But, when you're talking about grilling, this does it all. I love this stuff.
All right. Obviously a big fan. Where can you buy it, and how much is it, and what size bottle do you get?
Okay, you could buy it at jerseybarnfire.com. It comes in an 8-ounce bottle. Very pricey, though, at $11.99 per bottle. I would suggest to the Jersey Barnfire guys, drop the price a couple bucks because you're going to scare off a lot of people with this. That's not even including shipping cost.
Right.
Really, really expensive to buy. But you know what? If you want something different, I would say either wait till the guys drop the price, hint, hint, or just if you happen to have struck the lottery, go ahead and buy a bottle or two. It's great stuff.
All right. From time to time, we run into this instance where you're a fan, but all of a sudden the price, that does play a part in anything like it does in life. Mm-hmm. We also use this term on the show between you and I called QPR, quality price ratio. And it seems like that is running the fine line of being okay, but at $12 a bottle, do you find that it would be better served at $9 or $7? Or like what if it was you and your business acumen, where would you price point this particular product?
I would definitely have to say $9 or less. Any more than that, then it does kind of tip the scale into thinking, well, I probably wouldn't buy it. It wouldn't be worth it. I do love the product quite a bit. So again, if you have a few extra bucks to splurge, go ahead and buy you a bottle.
Give us a rating.
Rating, I would have to give a top 10 call to. Good product.
Right. Good product. All right, last but not least, that's Jersey Barnfire Black Garlic Hot Sauce. Last but not least, Golden Told Cajun Creole Rub. You there?
Yep,
oh,
it's
okay.
Great stuff. This one is very much on a spicy end of things, very savory, very savory. It's not your typical barbecue type rub. I mentioned seafood a while ago. This does spectacularly on that kind of stuff. Adds just, again, the right amount of kick if you love garlic, if you love an Italian herby flavor to to it. In addition to kind of Louisiana style spices that kind of really high-end, pungent, just kick them in your mouth, but it still kind of leaves you smiling. That type of feel. This is great stuff. I love to mix this with dirty rice and kind of make my own dirty rice out of it. Add a little bit of chicken stock to it. A few tablespoons of this. Get some grilled chicken, some chicken thighs, cut it up, sprinkle some of this on there as well. Serve it all with that rice. That is a terrific supper. This is, I wouldn't say anything you should venture to use it on like pork or beef, but seafood, chicken, smoked sausage.
What about veggies?
It's a good product for that.
What about veggies?
What are veggies?
Yeah, vegetables.
Yeah, I occasionally eat them. I think I ate some last year.
Last year? Oh, look at this guy. Yeah, but don't you like I love cauliflower grilled. I love asparagus grilled, peppers grilled. But I like to, not just run-of-the-mill, that's all it is, but I like to put some spice on it. So do you think that would work with a vegetable?
It definitely would work. I kid about that. Grilled veggies
don't backpedal now, you son of a
fantastic.
bitch. Don't backpedal.
Peppers, potatoes, corn, asparagus. I love all that grilled. And it would do great on that as well.
All right. Where can you get it, price and size?
You could buy it at Golden Toad. That is goldentoad.com. For $95 for a 5.5 ounce shaker bottle. A little bit on the pricey end of things, but I would say it's worth it.
All right. And overall rating here for this one?
This, too, is a top 10 call.
All right. So we've had a good month of reviews. 2 top 10 calls. Again, in the order of review, Nate Paul's Sweet Barbecue Sauce, which did get an oven baker, and we're running away from that one. Jersey Barnfire Black Garlic Hot Sauce, which was a top 10 call, and Golden Toad Cajun / Creole Rub, which also got a top 10 call. Let me ask you really quick. We were talking about the expositions or whatever, in Texas that are going on, and you said, kind of shoestring budget. This is in no way or does anything compare to the chili thing that Dave DeWitt puts on every year.
It's very much like that. Now, what he puts on is a national Fiery Foods and Barbecue show out in Albuquerque. That is in early March. That is an indoor event. It's gargantuan or just to that. All these other festivals, they could range from 30, 40, 50, all the way up to upwards of 100 vendors. How these types of festivals, some will have live music, some will have eating contests. Those are always fun. As a spectator, I stopped being a participant of those long ago. But if you're into that just kind of whole vibe and feel and just seeing what's great to eat, I think all of them are worth a look, especially if you happen to live in a geographic area.
Scott Roberts is a blogger, a writer, a voiceover artist. You can find him at scottrobertsweb.com. And more importantly than that, you can find him here once a month as the official Barbecue Central sauce and rub reviewer. Scott, always appreciate the time, and we will look for you again next month.
All right. Thanks, Greg.
You got it. There he is, Scott Roberts. ScottRobertsWeb.com. Also, he is still doing the Firecast. I believe he has since mentioned that it has gone out of the weekly endeavor, as it initially was panned out to be, but now it's just the Firecast. Rumor has it somebody we know might be on the Firecast shortly. You ever want to hear me get interviewed? Oh, pack a lunch. Before we wrap up this show tonight, I'm going to talk to you about the Barbecue Guru, located in Warminster, Pennsylvania. The Barbecue Guru is the automatic pit temperature control device you should reach for. Stop here. This is the company that started it all. They are the creators of this technology. So I would ask, why would you buy one from anybody else? I don't know. Not familiar with how these little beauties work? No problem. I'll tell you on a high level. Imagine a product that allows you to set your pit temperature, and once set, that keeps it running at that set temperature all the way through the cook. Sound too good to be true? It's not. This is real life, and you can take advantage of this technology today. Now, maybe you are a busy working professional like me, or perhaps you're constantly on the run with kids, you're doing errands, and quite frankly, you just don't have time to set around and tend pit temperatures. I dig it. The Guru allows you to throw on a pork butt or a brisket or a couple slabs of ribs or all of those, depending on the size of your cooker, and then you're off to do whatever it is you need to get done. And the Barbecue Guru maintains that pit temperature you set it at. There are currently a number of different models to choose from. The most popular ones right now, both ends of the price spectrum, high and low. High-end CyberQ Wi-Fi, raging across the competition trails and so forth. If you have a Wi-Fi connection, you don't even have to get out of bed anymore to check the temperature internally of your meat or the pit temperature. If you want to ramp up or down, you can do it right from the comfort of your smart device, your netbook, tablet, whatever it is. You're ready to go. Or you can do the lower end, $149, get you the Party Cube. That fits most cookers. $10 more for the ceramic styles for the vents at the bottom. But really, a easiest point of entry when it comes to pit temperature control devices. Runs on AA batteries, and you can take it from cooker to cooker. If you're in the market for a cooker, Onyx Oven is what you want to consider as well. Holds a ton of meat. Accommodates half and full pans for food service. Works seamlessly, of course, with any Barbecue Guru pit temperature control device. So do yourself a favor, head on over to thebbqguru.com and check out their products. If you have any questions about what to order, call them directly. Don't hesitate. 800-288-GURU. That's 800-288-GURU. They'll make sure you're outfitted with exactly what you need to get you up and running right out of the box. Again, 800-288-GURU or thebbqguru.com. Barbecue Guru, a breakthrough in barbecue technology. We are back to wrap the show right after this. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Get in the smoke. Call 877-448-0433 to get on the air. Now, here's your host, Greg Rempe.
Big B, Moonshine Band, Suburban Boys Records. Let's go! I'm an outlaw. Give me 2 shots. We don't need a radio. Bring a jukebox. For my
Well, all right, let's try that again. Welcome back, 216-220-0966. Greg at the BBQCentralShow.com. Thanks again to Scott Roberts for joining me this past segment. Again, if you are keeping notes and you want to try what he was looking at reviewing tonight, Nate Paul's Sweet Barbecue Sauce, NatePauls.com, like the names. Jersey Barnfire Black Garlic Hot Sauce, expensive but worth the buy, jerseybarnfire.com. And Golden Toad Cajun Creole Rub at goldentoad.com. Top 10 call as well. You can find him at scottrobertsweb.com, scottrobertsvoice.com if you want him to voice stuff for you. He'll voice stuff for you. He's a voiceover character. Yeah, I guess that's going to be it. So let's go ahead and wrap it up. All the way back in the first hour, we were joined by Ray Lampe, Dr. Barbecue, for the Ask Dr. Barbecue segment. After that, we talked with Patruck Paquette from the Basic Barbecue team. He finished 5th last weekend, or this past weekend in Richmond, and we'll move on to the Sam's Club Regional National Final, September 27th. Good luck to him. Second hour, we talked with Dave Benjamin from Hotbox Grills, hotboxgrills.com. Truly portable, truly sweet looking, and American made, 100%. Closing out the show, Scott Roberts from scottrobertsweb.com. A couple things here before we go. Next week, we have a great show. If you have raw cast iron, season it each and every time. Little grease, little Crisco, whatever. Let it burn back in after you've hit it with that grill brush. Let it bake back in each and every time. Generations of rust-free service. Also, September 11th, 2001. I will never forget. Until then, and or next Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, is your program host and proud U.S. American, Greg Rempe. Good night now.